Okay, so I was requested to make a video to show how to ask to populate an array to a certain number and allow them to exit the array if they don't get to that full number. So, so I was trying to think of another example that wouldn't be exactly like what I asked you guys to do in your homework. And what I came up with was averaging test scores. So what I'm going to have you do, or what I'm going to do is ask a user for up to 6 test scores values and to be able to enter that many. And I'm going to print out the average of that. Now I'm going to let them enter up to 6. If they want to quit before then, I will allow them and I will average whatever they put in. So let's begin with what we need. So I'm going to have, I'm going to, first thing is create my array called test. Remember, it's going to be size 6 as an integer. Okay, then I'm going to dim average as single because it can be a real number. I'm going to dim k as integer. That's going to be a counter, and I integer because that's going to be a number. And then I'm going to dim continue as a string. So there are my values. So first off, let me put a quick comment in here. So I'm going to initialize my values. So k is going to be equal to 0. I is going to be equal to 0. Continue is going to, I'm going to set that equal to yes to start off with. Continue equals yes. Average equals 0. So now all my values are supposed to be at 0, not an O. So now all my values have been initialized. So what I want to do is now do a loop. So I'm going to do a while loop. While, and it's going to complain to me because I don't have it when yet. While k is less than 6, because I want to go up to 6 times, and I'm going to say UK $ continue does not equal no. Now let me explain what this is. So I'm going to say while k is less than 6 and continue doesn't equal n, because I'm going to ask every time, do you want to enter another one or not? And instead of saying only give me a capital N, what I'm going to allow them to do is type in one letter, and UCase is a keyword in QBasic that says uppercase anything that's in this variable. So it's making whatever's in continue uppercase. So if it's a lowercase n, it will make it an uppercase n. If it's an uppercase n, it will leave it an uppercase n. So that way I don't have to test for both an uppercase n or a lowercase n. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my wind so it doesn't give me the angry little red. Okay, so to make my input make more sense, I'm going to do a combination of a print and an input. So I'm going to say print, please enter the test score for test number, and then I'm sorry. and I'm going to say k plus 1, because remember, k starts at 0. In the array, it starts at 0, but for the user, we don't think of things that way. The first thing is one more. So we're going to say, for the 0 entry in the array is the first value they're going to enter me. So I'm going to put that, just put a little space there to make things look nicer. And I put a semicolon here, and what that does is that tells QBasic when it does the input to keep it on the same line. So now I'm going to say input test sub k, because I know I put k1 here because that's for the user to understand, but it's really 0 is really the entry inside of the array that we're going to use. So I get the first one, then I increment k because I'm using a while loop. Do in while loops, you have to do the increments. For loops, you don't. Okay, then I'm going to say input, do you want to enter another test score? Continue. So now what this is going to do is allows me to enter a value. So I'll say 86, and then it increments. Do you want to enter another one? As long as I don't say no, it's going to let me do another one. It'll let me do this up to 6 times. We know that because k can go up to 6. Okay, so now that I've got through my loop, I've entered as many as I wanted. Either it got to the 6, or I entered 2 or 3 and it didn't want any more. Okay, so now I'm going to do a for loop. Are there other ways to do this? There are, but this is more of an exercise to show you guys how to do some things. If I equal to 0, I'm doing a 2k minus 1. Okay, and it wants me to have a next. Okay, next I. Sorry. Okay, so so now I'm going to do a loop that's going to count from the beginning of the array to whatever number we ended at. So remember, if I entered in 3 values, it would be 0, 1, and 2. Those would be the array values. But k would be at 3, so I would want to go from 0 to 2. That's why it's k minus 1. But k is the number of values that are in the array. I know it's a little confusing because we're used to starting with 1, but a lot of arrays and many of the programs languages we use start with 0. So so there are 3 values, but it's 0, 1, and 2, not 1, 2, and 3. So okay, so and I'm going to say average equals average plus test sub I. Now remember, I initialize average to 0, so the first time it's just going to be the first test value, the second time it's going to be the first test value plus the second test value, the third time, and so forth. So you see that it's, so that's how we get that. So at this point we have all the test values added together. So now I'm going to do a CLS, which is just a, I'll put something here to let you guys know what that is. Clear screen. All right, and I'm just going to say print the average of the test scores is, and it's just average divided by k. Because if I have 3, put that semicolon there where I didn't want it. Is, that's where it should be. That should be a semicolon here. Okay. So this should work. Let's try it 2 or 3 times. So we'll try it with 3 values the first time. Okay, it's running. So you see, please enter for test number 1. I'll say I got 100. Yes, I want to enter another one. So the second one, I'll say 75. Yes, and then I'm going to say 50. And I'll say no, I don't want to enter anymore. And the average is 75. And we know that because 100 plus 75 plus 50 is 75 times 3, right? But let's run it again to show that we can do it with just one value or with all 6. So we'll do 78. Nope. And that's right. Okay, now we'll see, does it do 6? Okay, over here. Okay, so we'll say 89. Yes. 78. Yes. 90. Yes. 94. Yes. Sorry. 99. And 71. Doesn't matter what I say here because it's going to stop. So the average is 86 because of the 6 values. We got that. All right, so this is an example, and I will save this. I'm going to save this as test average. And I will post it. I will attach it to the samples so that you guys have this to refer to. Thanks.